And then let's do one in space. And this one wouldn't be too bad. F of x, y, z equals z times j. So let's think about what that would look like. So this would be my x-axis. This would be my y. Positive x, positive y, positive z. So if you think about this vector field, f of x, y, z equals z times j, then that's the vector field with components 0. What would the middle component actually be? Z, 0. Okay? So here's the thing. If you wanted to select some convenient vectors to draw, one way to do it would be select inputs from the same height, the same z value, right? And then they would all be the same vectors. So here's my idea then. Let's go up to a height of 1 and just plot a few of these. I don't expect great detail here. But here's a line at a height of 1. I didn't try to draw a plane at a height of 1. That's too hard to do. Any input on this line then would point basically parallel to j, right? 1 unit long, parallel to j in the y direction. Does that make sense to you? So you pick an input along here, pick a convenient input, right? And say that that length in red there is 1 unit long. So that length in red should be, you know, the distance from the origin to the number 1 on the y-axis. And then just make a copy of that along the same height and make sure you're running parallel with the y-axis. So these should all look like they're the same length. You could do another, maybe another line over here at a height of 1 to give it a little perspective, draw what is supposed to be a horizontal line at a height of 1, going through, you know, within the plane z equals 1, and then draw copies, more copies of this vector. They should all be 1 unit long, parallel to the y-axis, right? So they're copies of j, essentially, the way I've done it here. But if you went up to a height of 2, like let's say you went up to a height of 2, and I'll just do along this line at a height of 2, then they would, all the vectors would be 2 units long. So maybe up to there, along this line, parallel with y, right? And again, I'm not going to draw too many of these. I think we got the idea. If by the way, if the height were a negative height, the vectors would point in the other direction, wouldn't they?